is the way. This is the way.
Happy Tongues Day, everybody. Chris here from Foundling Fandom. So we are another Hey Mando live stream for you on Wednesday here. I've got my blue milk, so Doug's own concoction that I heard him make. So I'm able to join you, Doug, with the blue milk. So it's awesome. So let's get into the fun, guys. Before we get into it, if you're a fan of our videos, please like our content and subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out and gives us the opportunity to create more content for you. All right. So if you guys haven't joined us before, welcome. I'm Chris from Fatherly Fandom. I make all these videos on Star Wars content, all this fun stuff out there. My latest video is Who Are the Jedi? If you haven't checked it out, go check that out after this live stream. And if you haven't done so, make sure that you like our video, share this to all your friends that like Star Wars, like this kind of content, like our community, so we can get out there, and subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you can. Link is in the comments, guys. So let's get into it. Oh, looks like we already got some comments going here. Ooh, yes, I believe that's Doug. He says ooh about the blue milk. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious. Good for you. So much fun stuff to talk about today, not your status quo. So, Mighty Mage, who is Doug, says that was a great video. So if you guys want to check that out, I got a link right here. So pop that on over for you, Cappy, and paste it up. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh, let's see here. Not your status quo says nice hoodie. If you guys like this hoodie, why don't you head on over to Not Your Status Quo and check out their merchandise. This is one of their premium hoodies. I actually like it better than my own hoodie that I have for the show. So it's fantastic. Go get some merch from Not Your Status Quo and give them a subscribe too if you can. They're a really cool channel too. They do live feeds on Thursdays and Sundays now, so it's pretty cool. So what are we here? What are we doing? What are we talking about tonight, guys? We're talking about the Mandalorian, Chapter 20, titled The Foundling. So what did you think? Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think of this as we're going along. This is a nice, relaxed kind of stream and everything. I'd like to hear from you guys from this, and I'm going to have my complete breakdown and review for you bright and early tomorrow morning, so catch it. I like to kind of do that, and here's why I like to do this. I like to have my breakdown and reviews on Thursday because I feel like, you know, some of us are lucky enough to watch the episodes right at midnight. I work night shifts, so I get on break, so I'm able to watch the episode. I have it. I've seen it. It's all good. But a lot of people have to work, you know? All of us dads out there, all of us moms, all the parents out there, we all have to work. And we have to come home, feed our kids, get things ready to go. And a lot of times we don't have enough time to get in that episode of The Mandalorian, even though we would want to see it. So I want to make sure that everybody has seen it before I actually release my breakdown and review, so I don't release it too early anymore. I used to try to get it out as soon as possible on Wednesday. I used to do that with Bad Batch as well, but now I'm saving it so that more of you guys can watch the episode, enjoy it on your leisure time, and then we can talk about it on Thursday. You can check it out on Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, whenever you get time. You can always watch that stuff. Oh, we got Keith here. Hey, good evening, Keith. Good to see ya. Now your hoodie is tight as heck. Yeah, it's tight around the waist for me. I've been putting on some pounds lately. I need to get back in the gym. My dog is ruining my backdrop if you didn't notice. So, yeah, I like your guys' hoodie. I love the detail on the Not Your Status Quo. They have one of the best logo graphic designers out there that works for Not Your Status Quo. He is amazing. I wish I had somebody to do that kind of stuff for me. I have to design all the stuff all by myself. Single dad here trying to get it done, making it all work. It's been fun trying to learn that kind of stuff too. Let's see here. Doug, it was fine. Not the best. Getting into the episode. Mandalorian, the Foundling. Doug says this is fine. Not the best episode in my opinion. Felt a little like filler to me. And I could definitely see your point on that, Doug. And, you know, my opinion of this episode has changed after multiple viewings, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Doug also says, I have to get up extra early to watch the episode before work. Yeah, and a lot of people do, and so I don't want to put something out there too early so people are like, I haven't seen it yet, can't watch that, or don't want to get spoiled either. And I'll tell you guys, even though I watched this episode at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I still was spoiled on social media. I think Entertainment Weekly had a post right up large with something. And so before we get into it, guys, I do want to make sure that everybody watching the stream, the 3 folks that are watching the stream right now, there's going to be heavy spoilers here. So so be warned. We're gonna get into it here. So let's roll the spoiler.
That's good. You've taken your first step into a larger world.
All right, so you have been warned, guys. We're stepping into a larger world here. But yeah, I was totally spoiled when it came to Ahmed Best. They put a picture of Ahmed Best as the Jedi that he is, which is, I wrote it down, Kelleran Beck, and we're going to go over that in a second here, too. I got a fun little video for us to watch. Ooh, you didn't know you were getting videos in the live stream today. All this cool stuff that I'm providing for you guys, man. I think that's worth a subscribe, right? Yeah, we shall see. We shall see. All right. I get up at 4 a.m. Eastern Time to watch before spoilers. Yeah, definitely. And like I said, I was up at 2, and I'd watched this episode right away, and I was still spoiled. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The audacity of these people posting this stuff up right as soon as it hits. I know they want to get clicks and other stuff like that, but for God's sakes, let people enjoy the episode. Let people be surprised. So I was going into the episode, I was a little miffed. I was a little mad because it was already spoiled for me. And I wonder if my opinion of this episode would have changed a little bit on that first viewing if it hadn't been spoiled for me. Because it was a little lackluster for me when I watched it because I already knew what was happening. That is all Doug. He is amazing. Yeah. Oh, and what Not Your Status Quo just said, that is all Doug. He is amazing. What he's referring to there is the graphic designs for Not Your Status Quo. He is amazing. Doug, you are a professional when it comes to... You went to college for that, right? So you do a fantastic job. I'm so impressed with all your graphics and everything that you do for Not Your Status Quo. You guys go above and beyond. Looks amazing. Round of applause for Doug. He's an awesome guy. Keith says, yeah, Doug rocks. He does rock. So welcome to Hey Mando, the live stream where we gush over Doug and all the awesome stuff that he does, like, gets me into blue milk. So it's fun times here. All right, Not Your Status Quo says, it was just a hair above average, but some cool stuff happened. I agree, Not Your Status Quo. A lot of cool stuff did happen in this. All right, let's go here. Doug says, heavy spoilers is okay, but Fatherly Fandom is a better channel. Woo! Shots fired. Shots fired. Heavy spoilers. Yeah, and they release their stuff like super early, don't they? But yeah, if you're another Star Wars show or anything, I'm all. It's competition's great and all, but I really don't look at any of the bigger stuff anymore. Like I used to watch Star Wars Theory a little bit, but I don't do that as much anymore. I like to focus in on the smaller channels. I love the smaller channels. I love the community that we're building up here, and it's just better. It just feels more real because we each get to talk to each other. We get to share our fun and excitement of this fandoms. So I love it a lot. I like videos. Not Your Status Quo said, I like videos. Seriously, Star Wars. Hey, Chris. How's it going, Christopher? Another fellow Christopher out there. Good that you're on the live stream. Really appreciate you. If you guys haven't checked out his videos on YouTube, go to Seriously Star Wars. He does a lot of toy reviews and things like that. A lot of Funko Pops that are really cool. I love his videos. And if you don't know where to find him, you can just go to my channel, go down on the main page, down to the bottom, and you'll see Friends of Fatherly Fandom, and you'll find Seriously Star Wars right there. So thanks for joining us, Christopher. Appreciate you here, and I love your videos, man. You do a great job with those. I love all the Funko Pops that you present. It makes me want to buy more of them. I used to have a huge collection of Funko Pops back in the day, and life happens. I've mentioned this before. I'm a single dad, so it was like 5 or 6 years ago. I went through a divorce. Is what it is. But I had to give up a lot of that kind of stuff, and it was really hard to give up some of those Funko Pops. And but slowly but surely, I'm getting more of them. So we'll see. Maybe one day I'll have them displayed in the background here. So who knows? But seriously, Star Wars, go check out his channel. Give him a like. Give him a subscribe. Get him above 1,000 subscribers. He's really close. He's in the 800s. So we need to do that. Not your status quo. Go like his stuff right now. All right. He says, yeah, it was just a bit over average. But okay, we got that. It was just a bit over average. Just subscribe to Seriously Star Wars. Good job, Not Your Status Quo. See, we all support each other here. We try to support these small underground channels that we are because, hey, we're passionate people. We're not getting paid for this. We're doing this because we love it, and we're trying to provide you good content out there for all of you folks out there that are watching this stuff, which is awesome. Looking forward to his content. Yeah, enjoy. There is so much cool stuff on his channel, so definitely enjoy all that fun stuff. What's up, brother? So, getting into the episode, so my first viewing of The Mandalorian Chapter 20, The Foundling, I felt a little off. I was like, something doesn't feel right in this episode. And like you guys are saying, it kind of felt a little fillery. And for me, like, I was already upset because Ahmed Best was already spoiled for me going into the episode. But at the same time, I was thinking about the episode, and we're in the 4th episode of the season. There's only 8 episodes to this season. It's one of the shorter episodes, 30 minutes. And I'm sitting here, I'm just like, where are we going? Where are we going with this? Where's the plot? Where's the overall, arch nemesis of the season? Where's the antagonist? What's the story building to? And I feel like we should be a little bit further along in the season if we can. All right, let's see here. Doug says, that sucks that you had spoil. Yeah, it really did. I was so upset that, like, front row, they put Ahmed's picture up there in his Jedi robes. I'm like, really? The biggest mystery that we've had over the last, 3 years. And right away, at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're posting a picture on Facebook of Ahmed Best, in that scene, which is just unbelievable. Keith just subscribed to Seriously Star Wars too. So Christopher, you're getting a couple more subscribers out here. Oh, and that's my dog. He's been a little rowdy lately. So we're getting nicer weather up here in North Idaho, which is really awesome. But at the same time, dogs get a little rowdy. So, crazy. Sorry about that, guys. But hey, this is live. We're live. We're doing this live. I feel like FNF are, Not Your Status Quo says, I feel like FNF are dragging their heels this season. Favreau and Filoni, is that what you mean? Yeah, it kind of does feel like that a little bit with this season. But if we're going into this episode, and the other thing that bothered me is I'm worried about this season when it comes to where we're going because of, and I'll explain this in a second, because of Book of Boba Fett. I feel like when it came to Boba Fett, we got such an awesome character developed in the Mandalorian chapter, and I think it was what was it? I forget the chapter number of that one, but during the tragedy was the name of the episode from season 2 of the Mandalorian, and they set up Boba Fett. Awesome, he was such a cool character, and then they kind of nerfed him for his own show. And I love Fennec Shan, Ming-Na Wen. We're standing for her on Not Your Status Quo. I love her. But she got all the really cool stuff, and she got a lot of the cool lines and a lot of the cool action in Book of Boba Fett. A lot of things that I wish they would have given to Boba Fett. And I feel like that's kind of happening with Mandalorian as well. So, hold on, guys. I got to figure out what's going on with the dogs here. What's up? All right. Is everybody fresh, ready to go? Sorry about that. There's a series of dogs in my my neighbors have a bunch of dogs, and Bernie just wants to play with them. But so yeah, it's all fun. All right, let's see here. We got Seriously Star Wars. There's always someone who posts spoilers too early and ruins it for. Yeah, it definitely feels like that. Seriously Star Wars. They're always posting stuff. It's like you can almost just stay off of all of the internet if you can before watching these episodes. I was getting stuff ready for the channel and everything, and I had it up and spoiled. Ridiculous. Yes, Not Your Status Quo says they are going to get to the main story of the season and have to. Yes, and they will have to rush it. I agree. Not Your Status Quo. I feel like they are. You know, they've spent all this time, and then we're gonna have to rush right at the end of it. Seriously, Star Wars. Christopher says, "Where did you get that backdrop?" Ooh, I ordered this a long time ago. So whenever I was first starting Fatherly Phantom back last year, we were getting prepped and ready to go, and my co-host at the time, he's since had to leave the show because of work and other things. You know, he's a busy guy, and he also has a family, and we just couldn't make it work with both of our schedules and everything. But when we were getting started, we were like, okay, how are we going to do this? I need a backdrop. So I found this. This was on Amazon. I was able to find a backdrop for the Mandalorian on there and got it set up. So I had a different backdrop to begin with. It was another Mandalorian backdrop. If you can't tell, really like the Mandalorian. It's my favorite show. One of my favorite characters apart from Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker's definitely number one for me from the original trilogy, but Mando's got it for the shows, in my opinion. But yeah, I picked this up on Amazon, so this is the nice little backdrop that I got. So thanks, Christopher. So yeah, for this episode, I feel I'm really concerned. I like the episode. I very much like the episode, but I'm really concerned they're kind of nerfing Din Djarin this season. We saw him in the first episode. You know, he took out the alligator turtle for the tribe in the beginning. That was really cool. But he's fumbled in episode 2, and then in 3 he had to get Bo-Katan to save him. And the spotlight right now is on Bo-Katan in her journey, in her story, and so it feels less like a Din Djarin show. It doesn't feel like the Mandalorian show. It feels like the Bo-Katan show at this point, and I kind of want them to get back to Din Djarin and his journey. What's going on with the Darksaber? Is like he going to train with it? Is going to figure out if it's still heavy or not? Are we going to get back to that? Why is Bo-Katan keeping the secret about the mythosaur from Din? And she's, and she mentions at the end to the armor instead, who doesn't seem to believe her. He's like, "Yeah, sweetie, yeah, I believe you. I believe you saw this mythosaur out there." And what's her game? I kind of felt, it was nice to see her helping out and being a part of the tribe and learning their culture as well, because this is all new to her, keeping her helmet on. She didn't know how they ate when you have to keep your helmet on all the way. I thought that was very well done. I like that she crafted a plan, but at the same time, we have Din Djarin, who has been shown in the past and shown in separate episodes in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 to be quite the strategist and one of the best leaders out there. He's able to bring different cultures together. He was able to take down the Krayt Dragon. So you would think that he would have been able to come up with a plan as well, or at least figure out what to do rather than being reactionary like all the other Mandalorians. And as well as Paz Vizsla, he was kind of nerfed as well when it came to this episode. And how formidable he was in the season 1. Hey, JJ, can you check on the dog? See what's going on? Thanks, buddy. But to see what's going on with him, and he kind of was fumbling all over the place. And as soon as they get up to the nest, like he's jumping in there, without, figuring out how to get in there, and,
I don't see anything wrong.
Nothing's going on? Okay. But, yeah, I just felt like with the storytelling, and these are all nitpicks and everything. Like I said, I really did enjoy the episode. But these are all little nitpicks for me. One of the things I don't like about how they're telling this story and how they're writing it is the same kind of issues that I had with Book of Boba Fett. And that's why I said I'm getting a little worried when it comes to this show, because they tend to, in order to prop one character up and show that they're amazing and a badass and everything else, they tend to lessen the other characters. They tend to nerf the other characters. And I don't think that that's good writing. I don't think that you need to lessen other characters or mute other characters to make different characters shine and stand out. They do this all the time in anime, all the time. They're able to give the spotlight to certain characters and highlight what amazing, characters that they are. So it's doable. They can definitely do that. But I've been seeing this trend in this writing, and it's really concerning to me because it's just not in character with what Din Djarin has shown to be in the past. So, all right, let's see here. Doug says, "Hey JJ, can you put Bernie in the garage for me? Thanks, bud." All right, I understand pause. Doug says, "I understand pause, considering that was his kid. Agree with you on Din though." Yeah, and that's another thing too. That's great point there, Doug. Pause, he's probably not thinking logically because it is his kid. And oh, by the way, guys, totally called it on my my short on YouTube. I called that Ragnar was of House Vizsla. The garage. Yeah. Oh, you can put him in with Monty. So, yeah, totally called it with Paz and Ragnar. So I was like, yes, it is his son. Totally knew that. I gotta bring this to you guys. Who do you think the mother is? Who's the mother of Ragnar? And, is he his actual biological son? Or is he just a foundling that he had adopted as his son as well? These are the questions I have. And if it's his biological son, I think, this is my theory, I think that the armorer is probably his mother. I mean, if you think about it, they were on that Halo world together alone, and it was just them two for a long time. Thanks, brother. You rock, buddy. And so maybe that's the armorer's son. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think about that. Not Your Status Quo says the finale of Book of Boba Fett, Din, Boba, and Finnick were all badasses, so it can work. Yes, it can work. You can highlight them a lot more. And after seeing it a second time, I loved seeing Din. Din's the one that actually saved Ragnar at the end, and I think the other problem I had with this episode is, Bo-Katan did lead the rescue party and everything, but it was ultimately Din who saved Ragnar and everything, and basically he just gets pushed to the side, and Bo-Katan gets all the credit and all the reward, basically. And it's like, wait, Din's, he did actually save Ragnar too. Why don't we, and this is kind of the problem I had in Force Awakens as well. I'm going to relate it to this. When Han Solo is killed, spoiler alert if you've ever seen Han Solo, seen Force Awakens. When he was killed and Rey and Chewbacca come back and they exit the ship and Leia's there, instead of hugging Chewbacca, which she's known for years, she goes and hugs a complete stranger and just totally ignores Chewbacca, who has just lost his best friend. And that always bothered me. And I feel like that is what's bothering me here. And I understand, as far as the Mandalorian culture goes, the tribe, as long as you are adhering to the creed, you're part of the family, you're part of the tribe. It doesn't matter how long you've been there. But at the same time, it's like, how much has Din Djarin done for the tribe and been there for them and been so dedicated? He atoned for taking off his helmet. That was his big quest. And he's just getting relegated to the side now. And just, oh, well, who cares about you now? We got Bo-Katan. So, and it's kind of funny, too, for me, because in the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 5, the armor had talked about how, Bo-Katan, thought that she could rule because of her bloodline, her noble bloodline and whatnot. And then all throughout this episode, she's, the armor is basically just praising her on high as this noble leader and everything. It's just like, wait a second, weren't you talking bad about her in Book of Boba Fett a couple of years ago or whatnot. Absolutely, right? I just needed a drink, sorry. Some blue milk. Woo! Ah. Not Your Status Quo says, you think they are getting busy with their helmets on? Busy like in practicing their fighting techniques and, you know, doing competitions like that. This is a family show, guys. So we're, yes, I think that they are definitely staying busy practicing fighting. I did love that scene in the beginning, too, of them fighting and practicing in combat and everything, learning how to use jetpacks. This is exactly what the Mandalorians do, and this is what they do on their off time, is they practice. This is a warrior society, and they just fine-tune the craft of warfare, and I love that. I thought that was an awesome scene. Okay, let's see. Doug says, would the Vizslas still be considered something like Mandalorian royalty due to the relation to Tara? Absolutely. Doug, yes. Vizsla was a house. And so if you guys don't know what this is, in Mandalorian society, we have a tribe, which in this case, the tribe is the Children of the Watch, and it consists of clans. So we have different clans, which, like, Din Djarin, his is Clan Djarin, which the Mudhorn is his clan. Above that, kind of like your royalty, is the different houses. So you could have multiple clans in one house. So House Vizsla, actually, and if you think about Sabine Wren, Clan Wren was a part of House Vizsla. And so, yes, the House Vizsla is like a royal family, like House Kryze. So if they have a house, they're higher up on the echelon in the hierarchy of the Mandalorian society. So if you're a part of a clan, you are a part of a different house, or your family's house can be that clan, that house, and so on and so forth. Does that make any sense? You catching my drift, or am I being obtuse? If you guys get that reference, please leave me a comment in here. So Doug says, at Not Your Status Quo, this is, wait. Oh, Doug. Yeah. All right. Absolutely, I will drink. That made perfect sense, said Doug. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, Doug. Drift was caught. What? What are we talking about here? Drift was caught. I don't know. What they're saying there. Do you need that plugged in?
That over there is not working.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
It says that the wire is dismissed.
Oh, okay. This should work. So, yeah, it's charging for you. Charging the old kid's iPad. Oh! You asked if catching my drift. Drift was... Oh, yes! There you go. Do you know what that's from, Not Your Status Quo? Okay, I'll test you out here. Do you know what that's from? Are you catching my drift? Or am I being obtuse? I do not. Oh! So sad. So sad. If anybody else knows, leave a comment. You'll get a gold star from me. But, exactly. See? Thumbs way up. So if I was going to rate, like, I'll give you guys my initial rating on this episode. When I first watched this episode, I rated it pretty low. I probably gave it a 6 out of 10. Watching it, I've watched it twice now. Once again this morning, getting ready for my breakdown and review. And then I got to watch it with the kids. And I actually very much enjoyed it, watching it with the kids. It was a lot of fun with them. So my rating did go up a little bit. So I'm going to say a 7 out of 10 for me. We'll see, like, that's probably what I'm gonna have in the breakdown. But I very much did enjoy a lot of this episode. I just had some issues with them, focusing so much on Bo-Katan. But I think they're setting something up. And I gotta say, like, she's definitely got some plan there of, going and getting the Mythosaur and bringing the leadership back together. Keith, you did it. Gold star, Keith. This is why he's the OG Fando, guys. Because you got it. Shawshank Redemption, my favorite movie of all time. Good job. Keith, love that movie. Yep. Great job. Absolutely. Drinking blue milk. But yes, that was Shawshank Redemption. Good job. Yeah, you're good. And so so for this episode, 7 out of 10 for me. Very much enjoyed it. What did you guys do? If you want to share your rating, let me know what you would rate this. Boom. Seriously, Star Wars says she's going to tame the mythosaur. That's my thought too. And I kind of have a couple of thoughts about what, like, she definitely wants to tame the mythosaur. So she's on this quest. But the thing here is, and I've been thinking about this a little bit lately, I would say, Bo-Katan was adamant about getting the Darksaber back to bring her people together. She tried and tried and tried, and she failed at getting the Darksaber, and her followers left her to become mercenaries, took all the ships, and she was left alone. So that's what happened to Bo-Katan. Now she's once again fixating on this thing that will gain her the title of Mandalore. She knows that if she gets the mythosaur and she tames it, she will be the Mandalore. And if you guys want to know more about the Mandalore, go to the history of the Mandalorians on my channel to check out that video. Really cool. But that's also her goal. So this is her fixed goal, similar to what she did with the Darksaber. And I kind of feel like she's going down the same path that she went down. And once again, unfortunately, I think that what might happen is, like Keith brought this up on Not Your Status Quo, Grogu is probably going to be able to tame the mythosaur with his beast control, that force power that some Jedi actually have. They have beast control, and Grogu's definitely got it. So he's going to be able to tame the mythosaur, and either Grogu is going to ride it himself, or Grogu is going to let Din actually take the mythosaur. And she's once again going to see Din do the thing that she wanted to do, like she is adamant about doing and getting, and it's going to cause a rift. I think that they're setting us up for a situation where she's building herself back up. She's thinking that I can do this. Like, oh man, I'm going to be leader again. This is the way I get it. And it's going to be taken away from her once again. It's going to be kind of the snapping point for Bo-Katan. And I think that is going to lead to some sort of Mandalorian civil war between different factions and everything. And they have said during this show that the showrunner said that we're going to get to see different factions of Mandalorians, not just the Children of the Watch. So we're going to get more in this show. So I kind of like, in this episode, it felt like Bo-Katan was being political. Like she was doing these things to gain the favor of the Children of the Watch. Not because she completely believed in the creed, but that she's like, this is my way to power. This is the way I can get on top again, and not fully believing in the creed. This is just my theory. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. They could take this any way that they want. She could just be, believing in the creed now and be on the up and up, and she could just be another support system for Din and become the leader of Mandalore. I would like to see that as well. I love Bo-Katan. I love Katie Sackhoff. I think she does a fantastic job with the character. So it's just like, it's really hard to understand what her motivations are, because I thought I knew last week what they were, but now this week I'm not so sure. And it was really odd at the end, her conversation with the armorer. So I have some pause about what's actually going on. Okay, let's see here. Keith says, after one watch, I rated a 5.4 on the Doug scale. So if you guys don't know what the Doug scale is, if it's above a 5, it's watchable, right? And so seriously, Star Wars says 8 out of 10. There we go. My son said, I said 7 out of 10. I meant 8 out of 10 as well. So Christopher, I'm there with you. My daughter gave this a 6 out of 10. My son gave it a 10 out of 10, and I'm right in the middle, right at the 8 out of 10. Not Your Status Quo says, after one watch, I rated a 5.4 on the Doug scale. Keith also says 5.4 on the Doug scale. I think Keith and Not Your Status Quo He might be phone Keith and computer Keith, so we might see. Not Your Status Quo says, but she might have learned her lesson. She will do it the right way, and there will be an issue with her taming the beast and him with the dark saber. That could definitely be. They just need to get to this plot. They need to get to what's going on with this, I think. And if they're going to have Din give over the darksaber or lose the darksaber, just have him do it already, or if he's going to keep it. But I kind of feel like he's the reluctant leader. This is the hero's journey. This is Campbell. This is the thing that George Lucas was all about with his story of Star Wars, as you have the reluctant hero. And I think that Din Djarin is that character. Like, he doesn't want to be leader, but ultimately leadership and responsibility are being thrust upon him, and that's why the darksaber is so heavy with him. Is because he has to accept his role as the true Mandalore, and we shall see at some point. Don, good to see you. Great for you to join us here on the live stream for Hey Mando, Oya Mandos, Oya Alit. Oh yeah, nice. All right. And Not Your Status Quo says, so they will get married and rule them until Grogu rules for 500 years. That's definitely the thing too. I feel like they are both. I feel like they're mom and dad for Grogu now. She's very concerned for Grogu, fighting Ragnar in this. So that was really great. Oh, Golf Guy, great to see you. Welcome back. Did you watch the current episode of The Mandalorian? If not, there are spoilers in this one. So thanks for joining us, that Golf Guy. Donna Lander, hey Chris. And if you guys didn't know, this is my mom. So thank you for joining us, Mom. Appreciate it. Thanks for the support. It's awesome to have you here. Great. Hopefully things are going good in your neck of the woods. Not Your Status Quo says that last part was a joke. Oh, yeah, well, it could be a joke. A lot of people are shipping Din and Bo-Katan, though. And I'm about to get shot over here for my views on The Mandalorian. JJ really liked it this week, so. That's fine. Oh, okay, so good. Just so you know, that Golf Guy, as long as you're okay with it. Sup, Chris's mom. Not Your Status Quo. These guys are amazing. They've been very supportive. That Golf Guy says, hi, mama. So, Donna's an amazing mama. So, all right. I don't know. Oh, we'll find it in a little bit. So, what I wanted to get into too. So, what do we see here? I know, right? Donna says hi, JJ. Nana says hi. Hi. So, JJ says hi. Mom. Let's see here. Are you spreading those theories, these theories by gunpoint? Apparently. Blink twice if you need help. Absolutely. No, I think I'm good. They're just Nerf bullets. And they're strewn throughout the house, too. So, it could be a year and I would never see them. Hi, Chris's mom. So, Mom's getting a lot of love in this one. So, thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for giving my mom a shout out there. So, I'm going to be at gunpoint again here pretty soon. Here it is. Here it is, guys. But, let's talk about Grogu and his memory vision. I like this element too. This is something I very much liked about the episode. How the armor was talking about the Forge is at the center of the Mandalorian culture. And the reason why Grogu got this new piece of armor was because he defeated Ragnar in battle. And I feel like every time he wins a battle or a contest or something like that, he'll probably get a new piece of armor or something like that. Is Grogu a Yoda clone? No, actually, they said in the first season, Queel, the Ugnaught that the Mandalorian actually Din Djarin meets in the first season, had some experience with clones, and he knew what Strandcast looks like, and he looked at Grogu and he's like, he doesn't look like a Strandcast to me. And, he grew up in the Jedi Council, Jedi Temple, so I don't think that he is a clone. Uh-oh, lightsabers are coming out. Let's see here. Not Your Status Quo, but I think it will get to the point where some want to follow Bo and some will want to follow Din. Din will prevail and lead them to greatness. I like that. I like that a lot, Not Your Status Quo. Lightsabers coming in hot here. Coming in hot! Oh, God! I'm going to get killed. But yeah, But I'm, yeah, I think that something like that is going to happen, and especially after this episode, I think Paz Vizsla is definitely going to be on the side of Din Djarin. I like that their relationship has grown to, especially in this episode, two dads relating to each other. What could be better, especially for fatherly fandom? I love to see it. Getting to see that relationship, that him getting Ragnar back and everything, and asking him if he's okay, and he's like, "I'm okay, Dad. I just hit me in the feels right here, man. Hit me in the feels on that." Yoda's clone. Mom says, face red heart shape. Face red heart shape. Oh, maybe like you're doing emojis. I guess emojis don't show up on here, Mom. Yes, it's been a while since we got a good Forge flashback. Absolutely. And I loved it too, because they were able to sprinkle in more of the lore for the Mandalorians and their culture, which we are learning for the first time in this show. And so when this experience about forging their armor is a very intimate experience, and it brings out all of your struggles and problems. And the idea here is, as your armor is being forged, you are also being forged mentally as well as physically. And so it's a bond between that. And I love that aspect about this. And so it makes sense why Din Djarin had all those flashbacks when the armor was forging his armor from the first season as well. So it all kind of draws back and ties together. And so we get this scene with Grogu, and he gets to flash back to Order 66, and we finally get revealed that it is Ahmed Best is the one to save Grogu. So what do you guys feel about this? The character's name was Kelleran Beck. And he actually comes, there's a game show. I didn't even know about this game show, but there's a game show called Star Wars Jedi Challenge, and I pulled it up here. So let's get, I'm going to add this to the stream, and we're going to watch it real quick. Just a little bit of it so you can see, but they had him, and that character would train, like they had these contestants on training as young Jedis or Padawans, and so he would train them. So he was in charge of the Padawans. So let's watch the video, guys. Kelleran Beck!
Padawans, my name is Jedi Master Kelleran Beck, and these are my trusty droids, 83.
How's it going?
And LXR5. This is now your time, but are you ready to become Jedi Knights?
Yeah!
Love the energy, Padawans.
Let's review your files.
The competition should first off know that we are fast.
There you go. So Kelleran Beck. So Ahmed Best has played this character before. He didn't appear in any of the live canon stuff, just on this game show. So this is his first time appearing in this time frame, and I loved it too. Like all of the scenery from Coruscant and how it looked and the colors and everything, very reminiscent of the prequels. It just looked like it was shot in the prequel style. I loved all of it. I loved that they brought Ahmed Best back for this. And if, like, you know, my theories were wrong, Keith, you and I both, we were wrong this time. I don't know what to say. You know, maybe later on he'll be captured and we'll be right. But I was almost brought to tears that Ahmed Best got to play this role, because he went through so much crap, you know, after playing Jar Jar Binks, and he was on the verge of suicide. He had suicidal thoughts because of all the backlash that he had from playing Jar Jar Binks, and he loves Star Wars. And he was just thrilled to be a part of it. He actually helped too in designing the fight style for Yoda in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So he was an integral part in a lot of the stuff behind the scenes too. And so it was great. It was great to get to see him. I hope that he gets all the love. Kind of the same thing that happened with Hayden Christensen, is like we're seeing so much love and appreciation for the actor. And now we're getting that same thing for Ahmed Best. So for me, I loved it. I you know, my theory was pretty good, but at the same time, I'm glad we got this. I hate that it was spoiled for me, but I loved seeing Ahmed Best. I thought he did a great job with this. And my theory, guys, if you're out there and want to chime in on this theory, that was a Naboo starship, so he's obviously got Naboo connections. A lot of people think that it might be Padme. My thought is that it's actually Jar Jar. It's Representative Binks that helped him get Grogu out. And I wonder if we're going to get a scene with Kelleran Beck and Jar Jar Binks in one of the next episodes and meeting Grogu in the past. What do you guys think? You think that it could be Jar Jar? We might get to see Jar Jar in the Mandalorian. For reals, guys. For reals. All right, let's get to some more of the comments here, because I showed you the video and we got some more comments coming in here. Let's see here. Okay, we got Not Your Status Quo. He says, and he was getting flashbacks when the armor was pounding the Beskar, just like Din used to. Yep, like I mentioned, same type of thing that we got there. That golf guy, yeah, but if Yoda had himself cloned to keep balance, he could have hidden the trace. Good theory, that golf guy. Could be plausible. We don't know. We haven't seen where they came from. But we do know that Grogu was born around the same time as Anakin, the Chosen One. So there's a lot of theories out there whether or not Grogu was the Chosen One. But I think definitively they've come out and said Anakin was the Chosen One. They're just born around the same time. Let's see here. That golf guy. I'm starting conspiracies. Yes, we love conspiracies here at Fatherly Fan. All the theories you can time, and I'm wrong a lot of the time too. Half the fun is just coming up with this kind of stuff and talking about it. That's what this channel is all about. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, do that, and you get to hear all the fun conspiracies and theories, like all the stuff that we got. Darksaber is gonna come here for a second. Doug says probably an emoji. Oh, for Donna Singh. Yep. Kelleran Beck, I guess is how he said it. Kelleran. I'm terrible with pronunciation, but I always come back to this idea. George Lucas said that throughout the galaxy, people pronounce things differently, so it doesn't really matter how you pronounce it. I just go by that. So if George Lucas said it, I'm good with it. Kelleran Beck. Yeah, it was so great to see him. Thank you, Christopher. The Darksaber. He's obviously got a good connection with the Darksaber. He's not fighting it, but he might be fighting me. All right, that golf guy. Did you see the Ubisoft Star Wars game? The Ubisoft Star Wars game. Oh, I have seen some stills from that. It looks pretty cool. It's a, where you can go and be in the world and be whatever you want in the galaxy far, far away. That would be awesome. I hope we get it. Seriously, Star Wars. He's the brother of Ahmed Beck, who he played in Attack of the Clones. Oh, dropping some knowledge there, Christopher. Oh, I'll have to check that out. Ahmed Beck was played in Attack of the Clones. Okay. That's crazy. That's good. We're going to get some... I'm going to write that down, put that in my breakdown, too. So if you don't mind, Christopher. Ahmed Beck, and I'll do some research on that. Ahmed Beck. Attack of the Clones. And apparently, too, in the game show, Kelleran Beck had a purple lightsaber. Mace Windu was the only one to have a purple lightsaber aside from Kelleran Beck, which is pretty cool. All right, Not Your Status Quo. After what he went through after playing Jar Jar, I'm very happy for. Me too. Absolutely, I'm very happy for Ahmed Best. Can't wish enough good things on the guy. Doug said, I was talking to Keith about this game show earlier today. Honestly, no one can blame me for not hearing about it before. I think it still airs on StarWarsKids.com. I think you might be right. The episode that I found on YouTube is the only one that I've seen so far. So there we go. Keith says, I didn't know it was him until the credits. Oh, you didn't? I knew right away. That was him. Even seeing the picture. I'm being held up by gunpoint, Darksaber. Oh my gosh. This is not the face, buddy. But yeah, even when I was spoiled and I saw the picture, I was like, oh my god, Ahmed Best. Okay, he's the one that saves Grogu. All right. That golf guy, open world galaxy Star Wars game. Yeah, picture Assassin's Creed, but Star Wars. Yep. Yeah, I have seen stuff. You could be the Mandalorian. You could be Din Djarin in there, and it looks awesome. So that's pretty cool. Doug says, I love that theory, redemption for Jar Jar. Absolutely, right? The Jar Jar theory. I feel like he's the one. He probably feels bad about giving the Emperor all this power, all the emergency powers. It was all Jar Jar Binks, So he this is his way to redeem himself, so that he is part of the reason why Grogu made it out. I think it's a good theory. I think we might see that. Awesome. That golf guy says, how if it takes place after Return of the Jedi? Oh, that was just a flashback. So Grogu is remembering this while he is with the armor and she's forging his chest plate. Oh, yeah. Or crossover in the Bad... Dawn, I would love to see a crossover with Bad Batch. I keep wishing they would do this, especially since we have both of them airing at the same time. Coordinate it so where the story in Bad Batch can be resolved in The Mandalorian or vice versa. I would love to see that more. So, seriously, Star Wars says Padme would be at her apartment during the attack of the temple. Yeah, she was at the apartment, and then she was heading off to Mustafar there after talking to Obi-Wan Kenobi. So you're right. Good catch, Christopher. You're absolutely right. That's why it's probably Jar Jar that has coordinated this retreat for Grogu. I think we got something here, guys. Fandos, we've got a working theory. Jar Jar Binks is the one that saved Grogu. The real Jar Jar Binks. And Ahmed Best gets to play both of them, too. That's what I love the most. It's great. Seriously, Star Wars says that starship is the same from Attack of the Clones. Yeah, it is the same one. I'm going to look up the model number and everything, too, for my breakdown and everything. I'll have that, and I'll probably have some clips with Attack of the Clones. Tomorrow on that, good find. Doug, at That Golf Guy, Grogu is 50 years old. That was a memory flashback from Rome. Yep, like I mentioned. So Grogu was probably about 20 years old in that flashback. And that flashback took place during Revenge of the Sith after Order 66. So, and yeah, Golf Guy says, oh, cool. Seriously, Star Wars says he was in the nightclub with Anthony Daniels' character. Yes, I do remember that. That was from Attack of the Clones. So that was his brother. So yeah, he was just like a Republic officer too. I remember him playing. I didn't know what his name was during that. So thanks for bringing that up, Christopher. Yeah, I remember that scene. I remember them having that. That was great. Drink, absolutely. All right, here, That Golf Guy. I'm new to this, and I only minored in nerdom for 2 semesters. It's okay. You know, if you like Star Wars, you're good to go here. You're welcome. You are a part of the tribe. This is the way. So, thanks to That Golf Guy. All right, let's see here. Not your status quo. It is totally Jar Jar and Grogu is going to try and eat it. He probably will. He probably like, ooh, he kind of looks like a big frog. I love this theory. So we're expanding on the theory here, Guy Fandos. So he's not only going to meet Jar Jar, Grogu's going to try to eat him. In the nightclub doing death sticks, tisk tisk. Oh yeah, his brother. Oh yeah, Kelleran. What is it? Kelleran Beck's brother. He's got to get him off those death sticks. You know, you want to go home and rethink your life, right, Spider-Man? Right? Spider-Man's here, guys. I don't know if you know, but he lives with me. He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He likes to go around the neighborhood and keep us nice and safe. Seriously, Star Wars, at Don Clatterman. I think they're leading up to some sort of plot that crosses over from Bad Batch and the Mandalorian. I really hope so. I really, really hope so. I would love to see that. You know, we're getting a lot of Mount Tantus and everything. So, let's see here. All are welcome at That Golf Guy. Absolutely not at Not Your Status Quo. All are welcome here. You're all fandos in my book. What is up, Spider-Man? What's up? He just shrugged. That's all he did. So, cheers. Blue milk. So is there anything else that we need to bring up for The Mandalorian Chapter 20? Right, JJ? Is there anything you wanted to bring up for Mandalorian Chapter 20? What was your favorite part of the episode? Here, talking to the mic, Spider-Man.
My favorite part was probably when they started chasing the dragon thing.
Yeah, that was a cool. I love that scene. I love them working together to take it down as well. That was so cool. Some of the shots during that scene too were amazing, and they did this in I believe it was chapter 17 as well. The season premiere episode this season. These camera angles that they have with the Mandalorians while they're flying with their jetpacks are awesome, and they did the same thing. So in the first episode, they had like the camera angle on the helmet as he was jetting out around the alligator. Same thing with Din Djarin as he had his vibro blade out. They had like a very cool shot of him flying through the sky. I absolutely loved the cinematography of these episodes. Look gorgeous. Absolutely. That's 10 out of 10 for their cinematography and how they're showing the Mandalorians fight these things with jetpacks. Looks phenomenal. All right, Doug says, that was pretty cool. I love Grogu using the Jedi skills to win Mando paintball. I love that. Mando paintball. Me too. I absolutely love that. Oh, man, I'm saying absolutely a lot. Drink up. Absolutely. There we go. I do. I got to drink a lot, too. Luckily, it's non-alcoholic, guys. It's blue milk. It's good for you. It's blue spirulina. Doug got me onto it, so it's healthy. And I'm using almond milk, Doug, so it's almond milk, blue spirulina in there, and I got a little bit of creamer too to give it a little bit of sweetness. So that was my thing that I did there. I want to know how they got those baby raptors in Bo's ship. Me too. Oh, this is my other thought for you guys, and let me know. I bet they made an awful mess in there. They probably did. What kind of meat do you think that they were using to lure them off of the gauntlet, which is Bo-Katan's ship? My theory is that the meat was their mom's. Yeah, from the dead raptor. That
That does sound.
yeah. What do you guys think? Do you think that was the meat from the mom that they were using to entice the babies off the ship? That's my thought. Cheers. Hey, that's what I use too. I only take advice from the best there, Doug. You know, only true men drink blue milk. Almond milk, it's the best. So there we go. So what do you guys think? The alligator that didn't killed earlier in the season. They probably have quite the stockpile of meat from the alligator. So you're probably right. Probably less sadistic that they're not feeding the babies their mother, right? So that's very plausible. Most birds are cannibals. Oh, yep. Good point, Doug. Good point. Wouldn't surprise me. I know. I saw that big hunk of meat and I was like, where did they get a big hunk of meat like that right away? Like, what else would they be around? Oh, Siri is going off on me for some reason. Ah, Siri, stop. We're not doing this.
Sometimes the internet is dumb.
Sometimes the internet is dumb. Quote unquote. Did you guys hear that other really cool quote that we got in this episode too, when Din Djarin brought Grogu up to challenge Ragnar? Ragnar was like, he's too small. Why doesn't he have a helmet and everything? And we learned at this point that you need to be able to speak in order to speak the creed to get your helmet. So that makes total sense why they're accepting of Grogu at this point without a helmet, because he can't speak. But I think this is leading up to him learning how to speak this season as well. So, okay, let's see here. Don says, yes, seriously, Star Wars, too much cloning references to ignore. I agree. There's a lot of cloning references in these shows. Both of them have a lot. I mean, you got Dr. Pershing. He had to have been around during that part. Maybe he was on Mount Tantus as well. I was expecting to see Dr. Pershing on Mount Tantus in the Bad Batch as well. But, so we learned that Grogu can't wear a helmet because he can't speak the creed yet. And then Ragnar's like, well, if he can't speak the creed, he can't fight. And then Din was like, one does not speak unless one knows. Isn't that a part of the creed? And Ragnar was like, well, I know. Totally like his dad, Paz Vizsla, kind of like, you know, the know-it-all. And Din was like, perhaps this is a lesson for you then. And then, of course, we see what happens with Grogu. I thought that was really good. So let's see here. Not Your Status Quo says, was that Dr. Pershing's mom in today's Bad Batch episode? Well, that'd be interesting. He said his mom died. And if they had cloning technology to clone organs, she would have survived. So I'm leaning towards no, but maybe so. Maybe she does die in that. So yeah, my overall rating for this episode of Bad Batch is 8 out of 10. Elia Kane's haircut is almost exactly the same as Dr. Hemlock's. Yeah, I am almost certain that she must be a clone. This is my theory on that too. Is like they in chapter 16 of the Mandalorian the season 2 finale, they killed everybody on that bridge, and she was on that bridge. The communication officer was on the bridge. We didn't see her taking it into custody there. It was just Moff Gideon. So they killed everybody on that bridge. So how has she survived? I definitely think that maybe she's a clone. She's got to be a clone if that's the case. So maybe she's not even the same communications officer that we saw with Moff Gideon. We'll see. We'll see about that. But let's talk a little bit about the Bad Batch. I thought that episode was awesome. We got Crosshair, we got Echo, we got Rex. Oh man, I love this. And I loved in the beginning of the Bad Batch, episode 14, how we see the clones rescuing other clones. So they're building up. They're rescuing all these clones that are being taken in as prisoners to Mount Tantus as well. So I really do, and my original theory was that Crosshair was going to become the Phase Zero Dark Trooper. He's going to be a cyborg Dark Trooper. But I think, honestly, after seeing this episode of Bad Batch, that they're just going to, be torturing him and the same thing that they did. And he definitely fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Like, they let him go and get to that place so that they could figure out how, like, they knew that he was going to try to warn the Bad Batch. And, we got what we got. I was like, how did he not? Hauser! Yes. Thank you, Don. We also got Hauser in this episode as well. Doug says, was it just me? I was getting major Thrawn vibes from Hemlock. He does give off a lot of Thrawn vibes. Very similar kind of characters. Cool, calm, collected, very strategic, knows what he's talking about. Even isn't phased when it comes to being there and, talking to Grand Moff Tarkin, who usually gets people a little scared. Wasn't scared at all at Tarkin. He was like, I'll get him back. I'll get the clothes back. Don't worry about it. Doug, I'm waiting for him to reveal that him escaping to send a signal was all part of the plan. Yeah, I think that was a part of the plan. I think that the doctor that was untying him purposely left him untied because she knew he would pick up the blaster. I mean, how many clones, how many other prisoners are in that compound, in Mount Tantus? It's like, clear, they definitely have a protocol and a procedure to keeping them locked down. So that was definitely on purpose. Like, they did that so that he could get out and try to contact the Bad Batch. Definitely. So that's at least what I believe, as far as that goes. So, and I was definitely wrong in my breakdown last week of Bad Batch. I thought there was going to be a huge time skip, like at least a couple of years or something, where the Bad Batch were on Pabu, the island of Pabu, but apparently not. We get Rex and Echo going out there and deciphering the information for what they found when we rescued the clones as well. So it's all culminating on Mount Tantus, like I was saying. Like, we're gonna have a huge situation on Mount Tantus when it comes to the Bad Batch, and I really did like that, and I think that we are seeing a true redemption arc for Crosshair. I don't think that he's going to be a Dark Trooper anymore. I think that the Bad Batch are eventually going to be able to rescue him. I do still think that Tech is going to be the one to sacrifice his life for Crosshair to get him out of there. So I think that is where we are leading. And I definitely thought they were going to just go all ham in on experimenting on Crosshair and doing that. But it looks like it's just torture at this point. And it's really great to see that Crosshair isn't giving up his brothers. And you could tell he's just like, nope, it's not happening. You can torture me all day long, but I'm not going to reveal anything. And it shows, that little scene shows you how much he still cares about the Bad Batch as well. And it's really nice, too, that the Bad Batch now know that Crosshair turned on the Empire. Like, really? He turned on the Empire? They have him there? They figured that out? Which was really cool. Let's see here. No! Oh, Dawn, is that no about Tech? I know. Like, it is not a popular theory, but, man, I could see them doing it. I could totally see them doing it because they have built up Tech all season long. They have given us so many nice moments with him that have made him endearing to us as an audience. And the only reason they do that in stories is to make their sacrifice all the more meaningful by the end of the season. So I can see that coming a mile away. That's just like writing 101 when it comes to that. So Tech is definitely going. I thought, in like at the first episode this season, Tech was injured, and I thought he was going to sacrifice himself there. But yeah, oh, Tech is my soul, brother. Oh yeah, I know. I love Tech. I think that he has been awesome this season, and he's one of my favorite characters, and I love everything that he's in. And it's old Brown Eyes, as Fee likes to call him. Oh, and what was my other theory? You guys, and this is the other theory that's going around. It's not just my own, but Pabu. Nothing's going to go good in the Bad Batch. This is a dark time in the Star Wars galaxy. The reign of the Empire is a very bleak time, especially the early Empire. So if we're expecting happy trails for these characters and these stories, it's not going to happen, guys. It's just not. We just need to prepare ourselves for severe tragedy, because that's where we're leading with these characters. Maybe they can redeem a couple of them. Maybe a couple of them can survive. Things aren't looking good, especially for Pabu, if this is true, if this theory is true. But if you're ready for this one, Pabu is supposedly Scarif. So if they didn't tell you the name of the planet, Pabu is actually the island on the planet. And if you look at the planet, it's an island planet with tropical regions in there, and it looks very similar. And it's remote, like Scarif was, and that's one of the reasons why they finished building the Death Star over Scarif, and that's why they house the plans over there. But that's where it's going. So the Empire is coming to that planet. So it's just another tragedy. All of it's just tragic. Really sucks. Not your status quo. Crosshair is going to sacrifice himself to save Omega, so the Empire doesn't get their hands on her. Oh man, that would be. Yeah, that could be not your status quo. That's a good other theory. So not your status quo's theory is that Crosshair is going to be the one to sacrifice himself for Omega. My theory is that Tech is going to sacrifice himself to get Crosshairs out. And I think that Crosshair is going to inevitably save Omega in some way. Maybe they do capture Omega at that point, and Crosshair is the one to break out, save Omega, and in the process, Tech's the one that goes down to save them both. I don't know. We shall see. We only have next week. Next week it's 2 episodes. It's the summit, and what is it? Is it Order 99? I believe. Let's see here. Not your status quo. She has bonded with him a bit when they were together. She saved his life at the end of season 2. Yeah, and she did. She did save his life, and I think that's one of the reasons why he's not going to give any of them up, no matter how much he's tortured as well, because she does mean something to him as well, and we saw that in this episode in season 1. Summit, yeah, there you go. Thank you, Not Your Status Quo. The Summit and Plan 99. So we get 2 episodes next week, and that's it for the Bad Batch. And then after that, it's just Mandalorian from there on out. But it'll be very interesting to see the Summit. It sounds like a bunch of these big wigs are going to come together. So we're gonna have Tarkin there. Maybe we'll have an appearance of Thrawn in the Summit episode. We shall see. So it sounds like it's a gathering of the bigwigs of the Empire coming together, because like Tarkin was like, "I'll see you at the Summit." So we shall see. We shall see what's going on with that. But Plan 99, I kind of feel like is going to be the clones and the Bad Batch coming together to rally the troops, rally all the clones together. And at that point, I think what's going to happen is Omega is going to be captured, and all the Bad Batch and the clones are going to come together to fight on Mount Tantus to get her back if they can. So we're going to have an all-out I want to see all-out bonkers on Mount Tantus, with the Zillo beasts all over the place, destroying everything. And I want to see, can we get some Phase Zero Dark Troopers, even if it's not Crosshair? Can we get those guys? Is that what he's doing with all those guys? So we shall see. you know, and because they are capturing these clone troopers, and he's using them on Mount Tantus, but what is he using them for? Maybe they are the phase 0 dark troopers. Who knows? So we need. Doug says we need to prepare ourselves for Crosshair getting experimented on, getting a cocktail of someone's blood with a high M count and obvious DNA from Kino Loy, then he'll become Snoke. This is Doug's popular theory that Crosshair is the precursor clone of Snoke himself. You heard it here first from Doug. Crosshair is Snoke. There you go. Not your status quo, and without her, they'll create a clone with the Force, but it will not be the same. Enter the Mad Jedi clone, Jor Sybioth. We shall see. All right. And Mom says, I'm signing off, Chris. Enjoyed your live. Love you. Love you too, Mom. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us here on Fatherly Fandom. Luckily, my son didn't kill me with the various accoutrements of weapons that he had here. Kino Loy. Oh, yeah, Kino Loy. You think he's still around? He couldn't swim. So, you think we're going to get to see him again? Are we going to get to see Andy Serkis played Kino Loy? Or, yeah, is Kino Loy going to become Snoke? Yeah, we'll see. There we go. Who knows? Who knows for sure? So what do you guys rate this episode of Bad Batch? For me, I'm probably, right now I'm sitting at, I usually rate these things the same every single week. It feels like an 8 out of 10 for me for this episode of the Bad Batch. I'm in for it. I like it. I like this episode better than last week's episode, Pabu. So I'm very much liking it. It's getting me excited to see the finale next week. We shall see. All right. Oh yeah, this was before Andor. So what if Kino Loy was a plant and everything, and like they capture him up, they use his DNA, and then they ship him off to go make these parts, and that's where he meets Andor later on. That's my theory. Doug says this episode was an easy 8.5 for me. 8.5 for Doug. 8 out of 10 for me. Not Your Status Quo says I rate this episode at 8.5 out of 10 on the Doug scale. Oh, I think we're all very similar when it comes to that. Seriously, Star Wars gives a 7 out of 10, better than last week. All agree. So we're all around the same when it comes to this episode. Keith says I rate this one an 8.5 out of 10 on the Doug scale. So it seems like we all very much enjoyed this episode. Hi. That's my son. He's an awesome kid. He's one of the best. We've been playing a lot of Ben 10. What's the name of the game? Ben 10
Power Trip.
Ben 10 Power Trip. If you guys have ever played that, it's so much fun. You can do a multiplayer on that, but he has to go find the other character at the, what was it, the little...
At the van.
At the van, yeah. So we've been playing that together on the Xbox. It's been fun. A lot of fun. I've been enjoying it. Not Your Status Quo says, hi, JJ. So here you go. And Doug says, today's Mandalorian was maybe a 6.5. That feels right. Maybe I'll change my mind before tomorrow's stream. Yeah, and I was, at first, when I first watched it, I was thinking of giving it a 6 out of 10. But it bumped up a couple of things after I watched it a couple of times. It's the rewatchability on the episode is good. Like, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more the next couple of times. I like that we got a lot more Mandalorian culture in this. I like that we got to see more of this stuff. We got a resolution to who saved Grogu, and I like that it was Ahmed Best. I loved all that stuff. I loved the look of the prequel Coruscant, and I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed the episode. A little weary about what Bo-Katan is doing, but at the same time, I thought it was well done. I like the relationship between Paz Vizsla and Ragnar. I thought that was really, really well done. So yeah, for me, 8 out of 10 for that episode. All right, let's see here. Not Your Status Quo says Sully and I have played it. So Keith has a son too, and his name is Sully, and they play video games together too, which is awesome. Naruto, Huggy. Okay. Love you, brother. Ah! Oh, my thing's going off. Turn that thing on. Oh, time to wake up.
Why do you have those all the time?
I know, right? Oh, I always have to be Kevin as well. I'm never Ben. I'm always Kevin as well there, Keith. You know, we are kindred spirits, Keith. I think, you know, that's why I like you guys at Not Your Status Quo. You guys are, this is why I sport your gear, because you guys are definitely my tribe. This is the way. Well, all right, guys. I think that's going to just about do it for me. My alarm's going off, and we're going to have to take the dog out for a walk here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And if you haven't done so already, please consider giving us a subscription on the old YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Give us a like on the video as well. And I absolutely love having all you guys here, drinking my blue milk. This is the way, guys. This is the way. Thank you, Seriously Star Wars. Go check out his stuff, Not Your Status Quo. Attack on Show. Go check out his stuff as well. Doug says, this is the way. So thank you, everybody, for joining. Dawn, Golf Guy, my mom. It's great having all you guys here on Wednesday. Well, I'll see you back next Wednesday as well. Seriously Star Wars, this is the way. Thank you for joining. Go check out his channel. This is the way. All right, guys. Well, thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of the night. Go get some sleep. Enjoy. Watch Mando again. Watch Bad Batch again. Get excited. And watch my breakdown tomorrow. All right? All right? All right. That's all good. All right, let's just do our little thing. And as always, you know, when it comes to the Mandalorian,
I want more. And I know I shouldn't.
always want more. 30 minutes is not enough when it comes to that. So, oh, wow. All right, guys. Have a good one. And I'll see you later. So thanks for joining me today on Fatherly Phantom. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And from our families to yours, have a good one. And may the Force be with you.